Hello, welcome back. I'm the Erroneous Kaiser. Today we're going to be looking at my top 10 favorite glow-in-the-dark action figures. There certainly are a lot of glow-in-the-dark action figures that have been out since the start of the glow-in-the-dark boom in the 1980s up until now. I'm not really looking at anything with unmovable parts, so by action figure I think that means that they have movable arms, legs, that kinds of thing, not just a little toy that glows in the dark. 4 figures to make it onto this glow in the dark list. For the most part, I feel like the glow in the dark effect has to add something to the action figure that also represents that action figure itself. So just taking a GI Joe and then putting everything glow in the dark is not really going to work. I feel like it's kind of pointless. It doesn't really represent the character at all. For example, the Kenner Ghostbusters figures that were glow in the dark, I feel like the design was kind of crappy, and I feel like it was just kind of tacked on as a gimmick. Of course, all glow in the dark figures are a gimmick, but it was actually even too gimmicky for me to put it in the top 10 list. There have been lots of Predator, Alien action figures that are glow in the dark, but I don't really like those franchises that much anyways. And then just making a more stealth Predator or a glow in the dark Alien, I don't really feel that makes the action figure any cooler. The RoboCop Night Fighter action figure, whether it was the Kenner or the Super 7 re-release, both of them, similar to Ghostbusters. I really don't feel like it was adding anything to the figure. I mean, it's very cool that you can put caps into the Night Fighter RoboCop, and it's very cool he has a Gatling gun arm that they didn't do for the Super 7. And actually the Super 7 was, just the over armor plates were the only thing that were glow in the dark. It didn't really add anything. Yeah, the Kenner one is pretty cool, but I always really didn't like that you were able to take off the helmet for RoboCop. And for this one, if you can ever find it loose, there's no way you're finding it with a helmet. And so without that one piece, I feel like, it destroys the whole vibe of RoboCop. I know some other people have added things onto their list for glow-in-the-dark figures where just the accessories are glow-in-the-dark. I think that's a little bit of BS. That's not a glow-in-the-dark figure. That's a glow-in-the-dark accessory. Like Supernaturals, for instance. Now, there are some in my list that are just a character, maybe not even a character, just a thing that is glow-in-the-dark, but I feel like they are extra cool, and this is my list, so I'm putting them on there. Packaging and how the figure is presented is also something that I'm taking into account here, which brings us to our number 10, which is the Super 7 Mars Attacks reaction figures. If you don't know, Mars Attacks started out as a trading card from the Topps company back in the 1950s. Now, I'm not actually that big of a fan of reaction figures in the first place, but what really made this pop out to me, what really made it cool, was the choice of design of the action figures, and of course the packaging as well is so crazy. They're taking the original cards, the original art from the trading cards. We have destroying a dog and burning flesh. Now these are both gruesome, but they got the original art on there, and the figures themselves aren't the regular reaction figures, especially the burning flesh one. Now, what really makes these really stand out though is also the packaging itself. The writing is also glow in the dark, and I thought that was really super cool. That's really what put it onto the list. I like burning flesh more than destroying a dog. But destroying a dog comes with the dog too. The additions there of extra pieces. Well, it's a very vital piece for that piece of art. As you can see, I haven't even taken this one out of the package because I do like the packaging so much. I was wondering if I should put these in the same category, but here we got number 9. This is They Live action figures. Again, Super 7 reaction figures. They Live is a movie from the 80s starring WWF, it would be WWE these days, but wrestler Rowdy Roddy Piper.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
He's a homeless dude. He finds some glasses, and when he puts them on, he can see the real world. There are some ghouls using subliminal messaging in everything, advertising, TV, just trying to push humans to consume, to stay asleep. I mean, mentally stay asleep. Super cool premise. I have watched this one recently. It's still a classic. The themes and the imagery themselves do hold up, if not the movie as a whole. a female and a male ghoul. Now this is in their, I guess, true forms once we put on our true seeing sunglasses. The package itself is not actually right up front as cool as Mars Attacks, but the packaging also has glow-in-the-dark effect, and I think this one takes it up another notch when they put secret messages in the package. Sleep, consume, watch TV, when you see the glow-in-the-dark effect on the box. This is another one I haven't taken out of the package because that just adds so much to the figure itself, I think. Okay, moving up the line, we got number 8. This is Raph as the Mummy. This came out in 1993 from Playmates. It was in a series where all of the Ninja Turtles took on a Universal Monsters persona. Playmates did a lot of weird stuff with Ninja Turtles, like the craziest being like Farmer Michelangelo and that type of thing. But I feel like this one actually was a cool one that really worked. All of the Universal Monsters being represented as turtles, as turtles represented as Universal Monsters. I don't know which way that would go. Now, there have been many glow-in-the-dark Universal Monsters figures, or the entire figure was just molded in glow-in-the-dark. I think what gives this figure the up on those other Universal Monster figures is that they didn't just make the whole thing glow-in-the-dark. The bandages are glowing, the flesh underneath is not. I think that is a little bit better than making the whole thing just straight glow-in-the-dark, in this case. Because our next figure is just the whole thing made in glow-in-the-dark, except for his hair and boots. We got number 7 here is Transforming He-Man. This is another one where I think the packaging adds a lot to it as well. Usually Masters of the Universe, if they're the actual original figures or these figures from Super 7 that were making a callback to the original packaging, have this exploding red rock behind them. This one, I think, might be one of the only, if not the only one with a different packaging. As Adam is turning into He-Man, he's got the lightning bolts behind him, and this is the transition phase. Whoever created this one was really thinking out of the box. I really like it a lot. Like I said, I'm a kid that grew up in the 80s and 90s, so of course I liked Thundercats as well. The Super 7 Thundercats Ultimates Mumra glow-in-the-dark. This came out in 2021. There was a non-glow-in-the-dark version as well. I got that also. But I like this glow-in-the-dark one a lot more. I think it's really cool. Like Raph, this has other pieces that aren't glow-in-the-dark. I like that there's a cloth cape with a wire in it. The entire thing is not actually just glow-in-the-dark. His mouth and eyes don't glow. I wish his teeth did, though. I feel like Mumra is a very good candidate for a character that could be glow-in-the-dark, and I really, really like this one. I was really excited about it when I got it on Big Bad Toy Store. And as a bonus, we're talking about Mumra. This doesn't actually make it onto the top 10 list because it actually doesn't have that great of glow power, but I really do like the Mezco 14-inch Mumra.
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mumra, the ever-living!
So we have the Mumra in his wrap in the Super 7 Ultimates, and I think it pairs well together. I position him behind him. This is the Mezco Mega Scale Thundercats Classics Glow-in-the-Dark special version of Mumra. Came out in 2017. Next, I live in Japan, and I was able to find this one for pretty cheap on Yahoo Auction. I was really, really pumped about it. Number 5, I gotta read this one because I can never remember the name. It's super long. Kaiyodo KT Project KT030 Takeyashiki Jizai Okimono Gladiator Murmillo. Kaiyodo is a, I guess, smallish company in Japan. They make everything from stuff for little gacha machines to action figures with lots of articulation and garage kit models as well. So this figure, it's just a gladiator figure, and yes, they did just make it totally out of glow-in-the-dark plastic, but it's just super cool. It comes with a whole bunch of accessories. Even the base itself is glow-in-the-dark, and it opens up and you can put stuff in there. I took off the face shield, came with it, and I like it just with the helmet there. Actually, there is another one. It's the KT033, I think. All that stuff with the change the number, and then he's not Murmillo, it's Secutor. He comes with a different helmet, slightly different arm pads, more armor-like. And just as I was looking into more information about this figure, I found him, got him on Yahoo Auction, pumped to get him in the mail pretty soon too. So yeah, number 5. I've seen mine in Big Bad Toy Store as imports as well. At number 4, I've got the 2004 Toy Biz Lord of the Rings King of the Dead glow-in-the-dark action figure. This is another guy, yes, everything in here is glow-in-the-dark. What makes it so cool is he comes with so much stuff. Even the rope on his cape is glow-in-the-dark. Of course, his cape is glow-in-the-dark, but you could even see some detail in the fabric of the cape. So it's not just a complete glow-in-the-dark figure. There is detail in there as well, in the clothing, in the material. You can see it. He comes with a helmet. I don't really like it so much. I take it off. I like his face. Yeah, there's still some darkness in the mold. They add some extra color in there, so it really everything really pops about this character. And King of the Dead is a perfect action figure to have as a glow-in-the-dark action figure, right? And this thing glows like crazy. It's awesome. At number 3, I've got the Super 7 Toxic Crusaders Ultimates Radioactive Red Rage Toxic Avenger. This is a pretty new figure. It came out in 2022. There is a regular glow-in-the-dark Toxie that came out after this, and I do not know why anybody would want that at all when they could get this one instead. This has a little bit of variation. Not everything is fully glow-in-the-dark. His body glows. I mean, yes, some of his accessories also glow. Toxic Avenger or the Toxic Crusader is a perfect candidate for a glow-in-the-dark figure, but when you just put the entire thing as glow-in-the-dark, it gets to be just too gimmicky and doesn't really add anything, doesn't make it the character special at all, doesn't show what makes them special really glow. Glow-in-the-dark is UV reactive, right? This one has a different kind of UV reaction, whereas when it's put in the sun, it'll get this red color change to it. Not only do you have this action figure reacting in the dark, it also reacts in the light. I have never really seen an action figure do that before, and I was so impressed. I still think it's so cool. At number 2 here, now this just came out, but I feel like it's way better than even the other glow-in-the-dark figures that have come out within this property. This is the Super 7 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates Mutagen Ooze Glow-in-the-Dark Ninja Turtles. For this one, if I got one, I knew I had to get them all. So yeah, this is all 4 turtles. There should be more glow-in-the-dark turtles, right? I feel like they did them excellently. The Ultimates usually have a whole bunch of accessories, like a whole bunch of these Super 7 figures. They got, extra hands. This comes with extra heads for everybody. They each come with little turtles and a broken mutagen canister. Donnie even comes with 2 bows, and they're the same. I don't know why they do 2 bows. I guess everyone else had 2 weapons, so they just put 2 weapons for Donnie too. Feels like the joints are so smooth. I really like them a lot. The posability, Mutagen Ooze Ninja Turtles, I feel like this should have been thought of years ago, right? If you've any experience with glow-in-the-dark figures, you probably expected Scare Glow to be number 1 on this list as well. And good reason, man. He's just such a cool character. Not only did they take a character and then add the glow-in-the-dark to make it more characteristic from him, from the beginning, he's a glow-in-the-dark character. Whether it's the original 1987 Scare Glow or the Origins that came out later. The Origins, of course, has more posability. I love them so much. The character is just so great. And then I'm putting the classics, the Masters of the Universe classics in here as well. That's the best one for me. Like, for the price and for the size, the possibilities, the extras, the key to Castle Grayskull that's strapped to his, or that's chained to his wrist. His cape is so cool, and they all glow so well. I don't have them. I wish I wish I did get them when they came out. I should have, because they would have been a lot cheaper to get then than they are now, is the Mondo. There's two versions. The Mondo Scareglow. Man, they look so awesome. I wish I was able to get on there. I'm not going to pay $500 for them now. Yeah, I wish I could have gotten on there a lot sooner. There is one horrible Scareglow. The Netflix Scareglow. They only made the head glow in the dark for a character that's called Scareglow. What the heck were you thinking? Huge miss. And they made like a super special exclusive box with like special LED lightning, and box looked great, but the character's called Scareglow, and so the character that most people got didn't have that box, and still, whether it was the special version or not, only had the glow-in-the-dark head. But okay, it's been a while. I'm still kind of ticked off at like every other Scareglow except that one. That's like at the bottom of every glow-in-the-dark list. Well, there you have it. These are my favorite glow-in-the-dark figures, my top 10. If you've got another one that you think is really great, leave it down in the comments. If you like the video, please, like and subscribe. I don't post all that often, but it is really nice to get new subscribers. I hope you had a fun time watching. I'll see you next time.